Like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below. Star Petroleum Refining is having a poor performance week for sure, as at Rayong they've had to admit to a second leak of crude oil from the same system that saw a huge slick cleared last week after hitting the shorelines. Yesterday saw them admit to 5,000 litres spewing from the pipeline as they requested emergency assistance again to control the slick and spray it with chemicals. Airforce and Navy have been called in again to treat the oil before it hits the shoreline. This, as in other reports from Thai PBS, we're told that despite clean-ups from last month's leak, what's described as a large amount of globules, assumed to be oil dissolved by dispersant chemicals, have been found on some Rayong and Chonburi beaches. Sattahip shorelines showed similar fouling, and samples have been sent for analysis, with the Mae Ram Phueng coastline, which was badly contaminated last month, showing a film of substance underneath the top layers of sand on the beach. Locals report that the actual seawater, though, is clear. CCTV from a Bangkok bridge shows a young woman throwing herself into the river, and, now confirmed, this was the lady whose body parts were found in the canal this week. With an autopsy being carried out, it's believed that she may have drowned quickly, but become entangled in a boat propeller at some point, which would account for the dismemberment. The waitress is said to have threatened suicide on a number of occasions. Thailand's House of Representatives has passed a draft bill that would see same-sex marriages legally allowed to be registered here. The almost 2-to-1 vote will see the bill sent to the Cabinet for review and possibly approval in law. Such a law would give same-sex couples the same rights to inheritance and also settlement in cases of divorce. In Samut Prakan, a 65-year-old abbot at a temple vigorously denied having a woman in his house for immoral purposes. Locals knew he was lying, and 100 of them surrounded the home until police arrived. They found nothing, except some women's underwear strewn through the house. This until noticing a twitching behind a clothing rack that was full of his abbot attire. Putting it to one side, the culprit was found minus her undergarments. The abbot then admitted living with the young woman on numerous nights and has been ordered to leave the monkhood. And as Valentine's Day approaches, it's Rubber Week in the capital. It seems the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration is doling out 2 million free condoms as part of a safety campaign during the season of romance. On a serious note, the number of cases of HIV and STDs are on the rise, and much of that is blamed on youngsters not using condoms. Meanwhile, at home and in our own region this morning, Friday, we've received reports of 785 new cases of COVID, 195 in Chonburi, 213 Silachar, 135 in Banglamung and 66 in Sattahip. Nationally, the figures are very high, 15,242. But with 8,955 recovered, and most of these cases determined to be the Omicron variant. Pattaya City Land and Building Tax Department have approved an extension for payment for those affected by COVID. In addition to filing for property taxes, residents can ask for a 3-stage payment schedule all the way through to August, which is good news for many who've had their income affected. A full investigation into the use of an ATM card carried by a dying patient at a Banglamung State Hospital have discovered that the card was stolen and used by a member of the nursing staff there. The man, now dead, had stored his PIN number in his wallet with the card along with some cash and kept that by his bedside. Family raised the alarm after withdrawals were made while he was confined to his hospital bed, making it impossible, of course, for him to have done it himself. CCTV from the ATM clearly showed the nurse withdrawing 4,500 baht. The 29-year-old, faced with the evidence, confessed to police and has been duly arrested. And the director of the hospital had previously agreed that if it was found that a member of staff had stolen the money, the hospital would accept full responsibility, so we can assume that they'll be compensated. And with the Met Office promising highs today of around 30 degrees, dropping down to 25, an overcast day with sunny spells, but with a good chance of rain at any time. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme,